Hi everybody, welcome, another broken series to the love story, episode 15 I think it is. We left it, Martin had had a really bad bike accident, no fault of his own, hadn't been drinking, car came around a corner, knocked him off his bike and just didn't stop. Luckily someone found him, got him to hospital. Now all the injuries he sustained, I'm not going to go into them in depth, because as I've said to you at the end of this love story, we're going to get Martin on a video call on one of the live streams, and this sort of thing he can explain to you about how bad all the injuries were if you want to know that sort of thing, and answer any questions about this, because he hasn't told me the whole ins and outs of the accident, so I don't want to get it all wrong, but I think I've got it thereabouts. Anyway, over the next 24 hours, the daughter, the grandmother, everyone came in to the hospital. He had to have a lot of surgery to save his leg. It was going to have to be several operations. Now he had travel insurance, but it did not cover motorcycles. He wasn't covered. The hospital was a smaller hospital, and they gave him ideas of costs. It wasn't going to be huge amounts, but it was still going to be in the region of about 150,000 baht, which is £4,000, 5,000 American dollars, something like that. And he'd spent most of his money on the holiday already. He was coming to the end of the holiday, plus his visa was going to run out soon. Yes, he had a bit of savings, he'd been working hard. Again, it was money towards possibly bringing the daughter over, and he probably had enough to cover all that, but it was back in the UK and he didn't really have access to it. But he could get a family to help him out back in the UK if needed to, and then pay them back after. He went through 4 or 5 operations, I believe, and it went over something like a 2-week period. His visa had run out, the hospital had given him paperwork and stuff, and he'd got the Farang up the road from where he was staying in the village to help him out, and they'd got an extension on his visa done. The fact he was still stuck in hospital had been operated on, so he got a visa extension. A few weeks went by and the hospital patched him up, but not done a great job, and there was a lot of open wounds that they were worried about infection, etc. He got out of hospital, got back to the village, and daily his daughter would put him on the sidecar and he'd sit in the sidecar, she'd take him, and it was about a 15-20 kilometre ride, I believe, to the hospital to get those first couple of weeks afterwards his wounds taken care of, and after that they'd be able to get nurses to come to the village. Again, he had to get another visa extension. He's not earning money back in the UK. Luckily he's managed to get a guy to keep renting his car off him, so he's got a bit of money coming in. He's already spoke to family, he's got to pay the hospital bill, and they're arranging getting money across to pay it. And it is somewhere in the region of 120,000, 140,000 baht, I believe, but we'll check with him. And he gets the money over and pays that. The leg is not healing, it's not good at all. It's really in a bad way. He can't walk, he's on crutches, where he can hobble on one leg, but he needs to get home, back to the UK. He's really smashed up, really, not in a good way at all. So over the coming couple of weeks, he gets to a stage where the hospital have bandaged him up enough. They've said he can fly. He spoke to airline that he's on. He said that the leg's got to be straight out, so he's going to need an emergency exit seat. He said the hospital will give him a fit to fly certificate so he can fly, but the hospital's not really happy about it all. But he says he wants to go back to the UK and get everything fixed there. They've patched him up. Somehow they patched him up, and I don't know how he did it, but he managed to get on a plane and go home. He'll tell us all about that. He got home, sorted his family out, everyone's worried about him, and he gets into the hospital system in the UK. They pull him in for a few days and they start investigating. And sadly, everything he'd gone through, the operations, they patched him up, but they hadn't fixed him. And he was going to have more operations in the UK. And there's waiting lists. It doesn't happen that quick on the NHS. It's a free service, so you have to wait. Over the next 9 months, he can't walk properly, he can't drive, he can't work. He is going through operations in the UK. This is a year from when he went last time to Thailand. His daughter's now 13. He can't walk properly, he can't lie down properly, he can't sleep properly, he's in a lot of pain all the time. And the leg, the hospitals realised that because the hospital in Thailand had patched him up, they hadn't, it wasn't negligent, they just hadn't done it the right way. They'd only done it as a patch job, not to fix his leg so he could fix it so he can carry on with his life. And he finds himself in a really bad place, really bad place. I spoke to him through this period quite a lot, and after every operation they put him through, he was struggling to sleep, he was struggling to lie down, he was struggling to walk. He had to, at this point, the hospital was saying, there's a chance you're never going to walk again. They were even saying that further down the line, because they do not like amputating legs at all, they didn't want to even look at that possibility, but years down the line it might have to happen. They didn't think they could get him enough mobility on the leg to get him back to work. Their main concern was getting it so it was safe and he could have a life and get rid of the pain. He had to sell his taxi, and he could get some benefits from the government. Staying in this house with his 3 other guys was good, but it wasn't ideal. And he started the process where you ask the government in the UK, they have apartments that they give people who are maybe disabled or unemployed or long-term unemployed. We call it a council flat. It's an apartment, and he went through the process applying for that, and again they said it was going to be a while. He might have to wait a year. He managed to sell his car because it wasn't that old. He's managed to clear all his debts, and now he's probably got about £5,000 at this point back in the bank, but he's got no job. His life changed. Minding his own business, riding a bike home, okay, late at night, but had not been drinking, and crushed, accident, knocked off the road, and the driver didn't even stop. Back then, they had reported it all to the police and everything, but he didn't know enough about the car, he had no number plate. That person got away with it. There was nothing he could do about that. But he's suddenly finding himself having stacks and stacks of operations, and then got to the stage where the hospital said that's as much as we can do. Your leg, your knee, it's around the knee, and he sent me loads of pictures of all this, but I won't put those on here. All around the knee and above, ligaments were damaged, nerves, scars everywhere. He couldn't walk properly without a stick. He can stand on the leg with the help of a stick, but the pain is really bad. Lay down, still painful. He's struggling, just mobility. His life, just like that, had changed. And so much. All his family in the UK, brilliant. He's speaking to his daughter. Luckily he got her that mobile phone. Regular, she's worried. She's coming on for 14. The daughter's mother, not fussed, except now she's got no money coming over. But he's using his savings to send money for his daughter. His family rallying around, brilliant. But he's in a bad place. His head suddenly can't work. It's like as if his life has been took away from him. From being such an active guy to suddenly being disabled. And he starts physiotherapy, a lot of physiotherapy, and this goes on. Goes through the Christmas when he should have been coming back to Thailand. It goes on another 6 months, and this is now a year ago. His daughter's coming up to 15. The chance of getting her to come and live in the UK is gone out the window. The chance of getting her over as a visitor, possibility. The chance of him coming back to Thailand a year ago, it was just not, it's not going to be possible. It's not going to be possible. He's in too bad a way with his leg and all the physiotherapy and the ops he's had. There's talk again that maybe the leg could go, maybe it couldn't, but they don't really want to. The leg sort of works. There's a lot of pain. And they're saying to him that we just want you to sit back for a year and see how the leg, if it repairs some bits, repair itself. And they give him pills. The physio goes on and on and on, and it just keeps going. Then they turn around on the physio and say, well, we've done everything we can for you on the physio. That's as much as we can do. This is costing a lot of money. And he even paid, he had to, he paid for private physio. He tried different things to get rid of the pain, acupuncture, and he actually invested a few £1,000 in different treatments to see if he could get the leg, the pain away and get it working. But his savings were dwindling. But he gets a breakthrough. The government council give him an apartment for people over 50 years old in a complex with, well, a lot of them are much more elderly, but because of his disability and what had happened, he got an apartment a few miles outside of the centre of town, but he got an apartment, and he had to invest a bit more of his savings to get some furniture and get the place set up. But he had a base that was now going to be his forever. The government will pay the rent on it because he's unemployed, and he'd get his benefits, and he might even be able to get disability benefits. So suddenly he had a home, which was a huge thing. This could be the turning point for him. But his mind, he didn't get depressed, but he got cheesed off. He's a fighter, and he started thinking of ways, could he get back to work? Could he drive a taxi with one good leg? Yes, he could possibly. Could he keep his license? Could he get a car? Could he maybe rent one? Could he get back to work? And this is now all he was thinking about. Desperate to see his daughter in Thailand. Absolutely every day. There's not a minute goes by where he's not thinking of his daughter, his family, his kids, everyone. He's thinking of other people again. Thinking of ways. Oh, such a hard place at that point in his life. Absolutely heartbreaking. Really heartbreaking. Guys, I'll see you next time. Take care. Have a good day. Stay safe.